Hey, Shine On Media, I'm Lucas Grabeel.
Hi, I'm Katie Leclerc.
You are on the set of Switched at Birth, and I am Vanessa Marano.
So the season finale left us a cliffhanger with Daphne. How is the season going to start for her?
Well, last season was really rough for Daphne and, blackmailing a senator. Things happened. This season, we do a little bit of a fake out. So you see me in an orange jumpsuit, and it's sort of like, is orange is the new black happening? Like, what's Daphne's in prison? Oh my God. But actually, Daphne ends up serving time at a community center, at a health center. And so it ends up being a place where at first she is obligated to go by the courts, and it's not really enjoyable, but she's making the best of it. And it turns out that she's actually really good at it, and she gets to learn this new skill that she never realized that she had, and maybe wants to pursue that later in life, or either way, it's a learning experience for her.
And when season 3 starts, there's no talk about going back to college just yet, but he is lonely. Nikki is in Peru now, and he, again, is faced with that being a man, responsibility. So he gets his own place, gets an apartment, and luckily he finds a job, well, not necessarily a paying job, but an activity to keep him busy, coaching the girls' field hockey team for Carleton, which both Bay and Daphne are on. So it's another way for him to bond with his two sisters and bring them together and get Bay to break out of her shell a little bit, because she's obviously not that athletic.
Emmett is stepping aside somewhat from the show a little bit, in the sense that he's a little bit quieter as a character, and he's letting a lot of things go. But he will be back and bringing joy to the screen. You'll see him at Carleton in the middle of the dispute with the hearing and deaf kids there at Carleton. You'll see him somewhat mediating. You'll see him in scenes with Bay and his family and Travis and all of that. And all the drama will still continue, but Emmett's a smaller part of that.
Last season, Ty was back in the picture.
He was.
But it didn't end the way we wanted it to.
I know, it really didn't end the way I wanted it to. It's the thing with Bay, it never ends well. I don't know what she's doing wrong. She's not doing anything wrong. She's just a 16-year-old, and she's with, young guys, and young guys really don't have their stuff together. That's just a fact, everybody. But they do. Eventually they get it together. But the Ty thing, it was just that just rips my heart out, because it's like, he didn't do it. He didn't cheat on her. She doesn't know. And she's just really angry at him, and now all of a sudden questioning things about it's what I perceive to be third time that I've been cheated on. So what's up, boys of America? What's happening?
So then what's coming up for Bay in the new season? How does the season start with her and more boys?
She's not happy because of that cheating thing. But yeah, she kind of throws herself into the artwork, and we've kind of seen her artwork gone from the scene for a little bit, because she stopped doing so much street art because of the whole it's against the law thing. And now she's throwing herself right back into art. It's senior year. It's time to start making decisions about what you want to do with your life. And she's like, all right, I'm taking a college art course. I'm really getting into it. And there's a lot of art this season, and a lot of challenges that she ends up facing through that, because when you've been working towards something your entire life, there's always that threat of did you waste all this time if it possibly doesn't work out for you? And that's definitely something that we explore this season.
Daphne hasn't found the right guy yet. Something always happens with all relationships. Will we be able to see her with a new guy maybe this season?
Well, working at the clinic, there's a couple options, actually. And Daphne meets Campbell and Jorge. Campbell, played by R.J. Mitty, is in a wheelchair, and he's a little bit more reckless. He's a go-getter. He's adventurous. He's not afraid of anything, and Daphne's definitely attracted to him. And Jorge is, he's more grounded, and he kind of reminds her of where she came from and her roots. And so it's definitely a toss-up right now, and we don't get to know anything in advance, so I don't even know what way we're headed. I'm still waiting, exactly. We get the scripts, and we go through them as quickly as we can so that we find out, but I don't know right now.
Do you think that Emmett still has feelings for Bay?
Oh yes, definitely. He still has feelings for her. Absolutely, no question about that. It's just that the writers have built up other storylines and have brought the audience into the show a little deeper, and I think that will be revealed more later.
And there are a bunch of new characters. And I
There
know
are. It's like guest star season.
Yeah.
Now we have Sandra Bernhard, who's playing the art professor, Mr. Max Adler from Glee, who is playing a frat boy named Tank. That's his name. And that's a cool relationship to play because it's like this weird, unlikely friendship that forms between them because Bay's so not like a frat girl. Like at all. Like she hates those types of people. So it's a really fun, and then he's like in the art world, which is so not his element because he's taking the class, and it's a really fun little dynamic to play there. But then we have Alec Mappa, who's really involved in the Catherine storyline, and RJ Mitty, who's really involved in the Daphne storyline, which is awesome. His character's in a wheelchair. And I work a little bit with the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, which is all about finding cures for spinal cord injury, and it's really cool to see a character in a wheelchair introduced here and really vocally speaking about the fact that he wants to find a cure for paralysis. It's like, nice little sprinkle there, switched at birth. Good for us. Spreading the word.
And it seems like all the characters in the show have so many different jobs. If
Yeah.
you could pick a job for your character, what would you want him to do?
Well, I've always been a fan of Toby pursuing his music career. And I think it's, it's fun. I like personally singing on the show and playing music and all that kind of stuff. And I've liked the storylines that have been based around the music side of things. So yeah, I mean, as a guy who didn't go to college myself, packed up my car and drove out to Los Angeles to become an actor, I kind of feel the same. Like I am inspired by people who drop everything and don't have a plan B and go for their dream. So that'd be cool.
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I think that Daphne's not as creative as Bay. So I think that I don't know. My personal favorite job that I have ever had as Katie was a coffee shop barista. I worked at a coffee shop for 5 years. It was the best experience of my whole life. So maybe Daphne could make some drinks.
What is a scene or an episode that you're excited for fans to see this season?
Well, we have a big episode coming up. We always have one big episode. We had the ASL episode, we had the What If episode, we had the Regina reveals that she knew about the Switch the whole time episode. We have a big episode coming up that I'm not particularly excited about. I'm going to underline that fact. I'm not a fan of the episode, but I think fans are really going to have a lot of fun watching it. I know we're going to have other people are going to have a lot of fun shooting it. We'll see how I feel about the whole situation, but it's coming up and it's going to be, they'll know it. They'll know it when they see it.
Well, you should tune in to Switch to Birth Season 3 because we're a very unique show where we have sign language in every episode. My character is deaf, and I work my butt off because I'm talking in an accent and signing all the time, and you guys should check it out.
To the fans who've watched and who have, continued along, since the beginning, Season 3 is just going to be another brighter, deeper chapter in, the whole Switch to Birth story. But for new people to come along, hey, what's more fun than binge watching Switched at Birth and catching up? But, I haven't seen any of the episodes from Season 3 yet, but there's a heart, there's always a heart in the past, but I'm really feeling like a special warmness to this, first half of the third season. I'm really excited about it.
Well, I mean, I really like my job, so I would love for people to tune in for that reason. But I think Season 3 senior year, like it's a big year and there's a lot happening and this could be the last moment that they're all in high school together and in the same state together, and so there's so much that could happen. I mean, I know my sister's going through her senior year right now,
And watching that happen is like so weird. It's like such a milestone in your life, and
Yeah.
it's definitely a milestone in the series. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things coming up.